Good morning to all the ball fans out there in the United States of America or internationally. Football isn't soccer. Soccer isn't football. I just had to get that out there really fast.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's arguing that they are the same sport. But
Internationally, they might just, you know how they, you know what they say.
yeah, football versus soccer.
Yes. And that has
Yeah,
nothing to do with anything that we're talking about
no,
today. It just, I
no.
thought international, and then I thought, what's the best sport in the world? And I thought football, American football. And I just thought to myself, I just wanted to get that out there. I wanted to get that off my chest.
You do know that soccer is like the most popular sport in the world,
Yeah,
right?
but it's not the greatest
Football.
sport in the world.
Well, I mean, it's the most beautiful sport in the world. The
Uh,
beautiful game.
I would say football is a beautiful game.
I would say football is an ugly game, which
No,
is
no, no, no,
great. That's
no,
how it
no.
should be.
You know it's beautiful. Wide receiver coming across the middle, free safety, sees it. Wha-bam! That's beautiful.
That's ugly.
Well, sometimes
What's beautiful is
ugly is
connecting
beautiful.
17 passes. You get to the corner, you cross it in, and someone scores a goal facing the other direction, doing a flip 6 feet into the air. That's beautiful.
Sounds like there's a lot of maybe between 17 passes. It might sound like there's might be a nap time in between that.
No, it's very high intensity.
Mm.
It's hard to connect 17 passes. If you play soccer or if you're a soccer fan, leave a comment
17
and just
passes is a
say
lot.
soccer.
Let's get
It's a
back
lot
on
of
track.
passes.
Let's get
Very
back on
hard.
track.
Ball fans.
We're ball fans. We're ball fans. We're talking about apples. We're talking about oranges. We're talking about football. We're talking about soccer balls. We're also talking about Bill Belichick. The news of the week. Somehow Bill Belichick is not a Hall of Famer. That's crazy.
If you're a fan of ball, that's
If
crazy.
you're a fan of ball, that is crazy. We're also talking
Yeah.
about Cooper Kupp and fighting. What do Cooper Kupp and fighting have to do with each other? How about you stick around like 5-10 more minutes and we'll get to it. You're going to learn something today. Is that right, Paige?
That's right.
Are people going to learn something today?
Yeah, hopefully.
I think so.
Yeah, there's a lot of ball knowledge being spewed today.
There's a lot of ball knowledge being spewed today. I couldn't have said it any better. Then we're talking about some super freaky stats around the Super Bowl that might make you rethink everything you're thinking about this year's Super Bowl.
Yes, unfortunately, I think
Maybe,
they don't
maybe
all go in
not.
my favor. Yeah. It depends your perspective.
It depends on your perspective. And then we're talking about etc.
Such an interesting abbreviation.
It is an interesting abbreviation, but it's an important one in the English language, so we will include it in this episode.
Hmm.
Are you ready?
Yes,
Are the people out there ready?
I hope so.
I hope so too, because sneak attack! Caleb is the #1 selling jersey in the NFL. Woo! You didn't see this one coming. I told you that I'm a prankster today.
I didn't. So wait, what is this?
This is the top 10 the top 10 selling jerseys in the NFL this season. And look who's #1.
Is number 3 Shadur Sanders?
We're not looking at #3. We're looking at #1, Paige. Please focus on the task at hand.
Wow. You cannot show me this list and be proud of number 1 when number 3 is Shadur Sanders. Actually, I take that back. Pro Bowler Shadur Sanders. This
Exactly.
is sick.
Show some respect. Show some respect. #3 is a Pro Bowler. #1 isn't. So show some respect.
Wow, look at him. He with his matcha and his headphones.
He's so sick. He's so beautiful. I love that man.
He probably loves you too.
He definitely does. I think if he met me, he'd be like, we're boys now. And I say, dude, we've always been boys.
Congrats. #1 selling jersey. Did you buy one? Did
No.
you support?
No. I'm not allowed to buy anything Caleb Williams until he wins the Super Bowl for the Bears. then I'll buy a cool like Iceman shirt. But that's
Okay.
I'm not allowed to do any of that.
So
Um,
you're like a bandwagon fan after he wins the Super Bowl? You won't support
no,
his
no, no, no,
journey
no, no, no,
there?
no, no. It's a superstition. It's a superstition that I have. If I do buy something involving Caleb Williams before he wins the big game, I feel like he'll never win the big game. So it's just like I have to, maybe once we're champions, then I can support Caleb Williams merch.
All right. That feels a little bit backwards. Like you want to have the merch before the game so that everyone knows that you were
Everybody
there day one.
everybody knows I was there day one. I don't need to prove it. That's what you do. You don't need to prove that you guys are champions because you're just gonna have the gear on and
Well, I
people are
have
gonna
my
know you're
Seattle
champions.
shirt on.
There you go. So
Yeah, and I've had this for years.
that's what I'm
If
saying.
someone was like, "Oh, are you a new Seattle fan?" I'd go, "No, I've had this for years. Here's my receipt to prove it." But you couldn't do that.
You
You
keep
go,
your
"Oh
receipt
no, I
on you.
I,
You keep your receipt on you for that
I
shirt.
keep every receipt ever."
I do too, actually. Matter of fact, two can play that game. Um,
Yeah,
are you
I
willing
write
to
I write
admit?
it all off.
Are you willing to admit Caleb Williams might be the face of the NFL?
No, but he might have the hands of the NFL.
Are you willing to admit that Caleb Williams is the most exciting player in the NFL?
No, but he is the most unpredictable.
What can I get you to admit? You're
He probably has the nicest cuticle beds.
100%.
Hmm.
100%. And that's how I want my quarterback. I want my quarterback's cuticles to be a work of art.
Yeah, who wants calluses on your quarterback's hands when you could have just fresh, lotioned baby little hands?
Listen, you want your don't say baby little hands.
Just
Caleb has big man hands. You want your quarterback to be clean. That's the name of the game. You want your quarterback to look clean and beautiful because that means he doesn't get touched. That means he doesn't get sacked. That means he's just doing his thing out there in the pocket, outside of the pocket. You want your quarterback to be beautiful. And I'm
I don't disagree. The best quarterbacks are usually the best looking. There is a correlation there.
see correlation. Um, I'm willing to admit that Caleb Williams is going to be, if not already, the face of the NFL and the most exciting player in the NFL. And that one thing scares me about him being the face of the NFL. And that's next year's cover of Madden. EA Sports. If you even think about putting Caleb Williams on Madden 27, remove it from your brain. Don't even
It's
touch my beautiful boy.
it's going to be JSN.
You don't want that either. Can you
I
can you
know.
say
I
something to
know.
can you say something to EA Sports right now?
Hey, EA Sports, don't put a single Seahawks player on the cover of your game. That's
Don't
it.
do it.
Period. Period.
Period.
Let's
Leave Caleb
put
Williams alone. Put
who should we
Jordan
put
Love on
on?
there. Put Jordan Love on the cover of Madden 27.
Put Matthew Stafford on the cover.
Make it a dual cover, Matthew Stafford and Jordan Love. Put those two guys on it.
They deserve it.
That's right.
They
Leave
earned
Caleb
it.
Williams and leave JSN alone. Don't touch our beautiful, beautiful boys. Can
I'm
you
not
agree?
calling. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. All right. Now that I snuck that Caleb rant in there, which I was anxious all morning to do that. I was very excited to pull that one on you. Let's talk about the biggest NFL news of the week. We're not even, who cares about the Super Bowl anymore, right? The biggest news there is Bill Belichick, 6-time Super Bowl winning head coach, is not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Paige, what the heck is going on?
What do you have to do?
What
What
do
do
you
you
have
have to
to
do?
do?
Is the Hall of Fame a joke?
I thought it was the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Lame.
That was really good.
Thank you.
Um, yeah, so the question is, should the people who voted for him not to make it in have to reveal who they are?
It seems it seems like the NFL might be doing a slight investigation on this, actually. I think there was like a statement released yesterday. They were like, if there's some tomfoolery going on, people are going to lose their access to be Hall of Fame voters, which is a massive deal in the media.
Well, isn't it like not technically like sanctioned by the NFL?
I didn't get that far into it.
I think it's I think it's like technically not sanctioned by the NFL, but like the NFL can,
Right. I'm
you
sure
know,
it's
push
the
them.
NFL. The NFL might run the CIA. But we won't get into that this episode. That's stay
It
tuned
is
for
the
next episode. Yeah.
CIA.
Roger Goodell is the head of the FBI, but we'll talk about that later. Listen, there has been, I think, 5 coaches, NFL head coaches, that have had first ballot Hall of Fame careers. Technically, they've been first ballot, they've gotten in first ballot. So George Halas, Curly Lambeau, I mean, that's fine. Those guys basically started the NFL. They're culture creators. They deserve to be in. They were actually in the first ever Hall of Fame induction.
Wow.
I'm gonna bust out some stats for you.
Okay.
Do you think a coach with 2 Super Bowl wins and only 12 more all-time wins was a first ballot Hall of Famer? 12 more all-time wins than Bill Belichick. Do you think that head coach was a Hall of Famer, first ballot?
Like they won 14 games total.
No, they won 12 more. So they won 345 total
Oh,
games
okay.
and only 2 Super Bowls, compared to Bill Belichick's 6 Super Bowl wins and 333
I
all-time
mean, I
wins.
would say no.
But they are. That's Don Shula. Don Shula is a first ballot Hall of Famer, former coach of the Miami Dolphins. Would you think that a coach who has 2 Super Bowl wins but 20 consecutive winning seasons is a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Potentially, yeah.
And potentially you are correct. That is Tom Landry, the coach of the Cowboys. 20 straight winning
Mm,
seasons, only 2 Super Bowl wins. First ballot Hall of Famer. I got one more brain buster for you. Are you ready?
all right. Mhm.
Do you think a coach with 124 less wins than Bill Belichick and 2 less Super Bowls than Bill Belichick is a first ballot Hall of Fame coach?
I would hope not, based on the precedent.
Well, Chuck Noll, the former coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers during the Steelers dynasty, is a first ballot Hall of Famer. So, Bill Belichick, most Super Bowl wins in NFL history, most Super Bowl appearances in NFL history as a head coach, most playoff wins in NFL history, did not make the Hall of Fame on his first go around.
It doesn't make any sense. But what this means is that some of the voters, the committee, they have something against Bill Belichick. And it's rumored, there's been a ton of drama since this dropped, that Bill Polian, who was the GM of the Bills and of the Colts, uh, 2 teams that, historically don't like the Patriots, but whatever. We'll just leave that out of it. A anonymous voter said that he was trying to get other voters to not vote for Bill Belichick because his reasoning was the deflate gate, spy gate, basically saying he should have to wait a few years because of all those scandals. And then when asked if he voted for Bill Belichick, he said he didn't remember, which, first of all, if you can't remember who you voted for, you shouldn't be voting. Just
Preach.
straight away. But then he was started to receive a ton of backlash, and he came out and said, "Oh, I absolutely voted for him, like 100%." And so now everyone's like, okay, he's either lying and he didn't vote for him, or he did the smart move and got 11 others to not vote for him and then actually voted for him. So he did the little, ooh, you guys do my my bidding for me. But there's another person. His name, what is his name? He's a reporter. He's basically been like a long time media guy. Um, his name is Ron Borgs. Ron Borgs has hated Bill Belichick since day one, and this guy is a nobody, okay? Apparently, his hate started when Belichick started Brady over Bledsoe because Bledsoe was like his media contact when Ron worked for some Boston media company, which he eventually got fired from
Mm.
for plagiarism. And yeah, he's not a good dude. Again, why is he on the committee? We're not sure what the process of being able to vote is. But he has been reported saying that if him and Bill Belichick went to high school together, he would bully Bill Belichick and steal his lunch money.
What?
That is alleged that he said that. So it's safe to say that he probably didn't vote for Bill Belichick, but even if those two didn't vote for him, there's still 9 other people who also did the same, and those 11 people have just um they've completely dismantled the Hall of Fame because it
They're
means nothing now.
it means nothing
They
now.
ruined the Hall of Fame.
They're creators
Yeah.
of chaos. I would say those. I would like to say that those 11 people might have big poopies in their diapers.
I just don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously they wanted chaos and they got chaos. But what if the Hall of Fame? What if they got together and they said, "Hey, TB, Tom Brady, TB12, he's eligible for the Hall of Fame in 2028. So 2 years, or next year, I guess, technically, or 2 years. But Tom Brady's eligible for the Hall of Fame in 2028. Why don't we wait till 2028 to vote Bill in, to even knock Bill down a peg and say, you couldn't have done it without Brady, so now you're not going to get into the Hall of Fame without Brady? What if they're that evil?
That would be so cruel and so mean. And what if they take it a step further and they have the same logic and they say Tom Brady shouldn't get in because of Deflate Gate?
If they do
That
that,
could,
the world might burn if they do that.
it's just like, what is the Hall of Fame? Also, what coach in his, how old is he? 70s
Mhm.
has dated such a young, attractive cheerleader?
I mean, look at that. They're doing freaking gymnastics in Nantucket.
Yeah, name a more iconic couple. Put them in the Hall of Fame.
Put them in the Hall of Fame. Put that picture up in the Hall of Fame. Actually, make that his like Hall of Fame bust. You know, make that his statue in the Hall of Fame. Is Nantucket gymnastics with Jordan Hudson.
Do you think she's gonna come out and say something? She is kind of his
She might come out and
voice.
it might get ugly. It might get ugly when she. I'm sure she's heard the news, but she's probably really sitting back and getting something dialed up.
Yeah,
And
she's
then
gonna
Bill
burn someone's house
Polian,
down.
right? Bill Polian should hire extra security once she, once she goes public with her feelings about this. Old Bill
But he,
Polian.
but but he 100% voted for him,
Yeah. Of course.
if he can remember correctly.
Yeah, if he can remember correctly, which maybe he can't because he's like 90.
Who is this committee? I don't get it. How do I get on something?
I think I think we need you to be voting for Hall of Famers.
Thank you. I have really based opinions.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you 100%. Are you ready to get even more based? Are you ready to have more based opinions on something?
Mm-hmm. Always.
C literally fights La.
I hate the
Seattle
Rams.
hates the Rams.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
I was going to say, could this be the reason why Seattle beat the Rams in the NFC title game?
I think it fueled I think it fueled it. Basically, Apparently, during Week 16 Rams Seahawks, the two staffs got in a fight or almost got in a fight. So basically, the background on this is Cooper Kupp was let go from the Rams in a they had a bad parting of ways. There's rumors that they kind of badmouthed him to other teams. They pretty much pushed him out. It was a very disrespectful parting of ways between those two. Of course, he ends up on Seattle. And during the Week 16 Seahawks Rams game, he had a pretty bad fumble right before the second half. And I guess when some of the staff from both teams were going down to their respective locker rooms, they were in the same elevator. And some assistant on the Rams said something in the elevator, so everyone can hear it, but says it to his staff. Oh, who was the Seattle player that fumbled the ball? And then they all go, it was Cooper Kupp. Giggle, 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 ha, ha, ha. Seattle's not having any of that. I think it was their outside linebackers coach, this guy.
Chris Partridge, yeah, linebackers coach.
He is not going to stand for that. He starts yelling and I guess has to get held back because he was going to start swinging. So all I'm picturing is the Captain America scene in the elevator. And obviously the Seahawks
Yes.
are Captain America.
Right.
And if he wasn't held back, he would have beaten the crap out of everybody. That's what I'm thinking in my head. But I guess this incident was brought up in the locker room during the NFC Championship. And then what happens? Cooper Kupp goes out, scores a touchdown, defeats the team that tried to, get rid of him. Seahawks go to the Super Bowl. The Rams can shut up now forever.
I love it. And this is just another example, which we have been preaching all playoffs long, all season long. Rivalry, hatred, and despising the other team is what we want as football fans. It's what the NFL wants now. And we're getting it. We're getting it on every level. We're getting it from the NFC West. We're getting it from the NFC North. We're going to have to get it from the AFC South next season. This is what we want. I want my linebackers coach fighting the other team's coaches in the elevator over a comment they made about a wide receiver. Chris Partridge probably doesn't even interact with Cooper Kupp like ever. But this means these are 11 guys acting as one, like Coach Mike McDonald said. This is the culture you want on your football team. This is why they're playing for the big game. This is why they're playing for all the marbles, because you got outside linebackers coaches fighting for their wide receivers in an elevator. I'm fired up now.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful
It's a beautiful thing. And I think that's
football's not beautiful.
This is a beautiful act of brotherhood. And another thing about the Seahawks that I feel like goes along with this, whenever anyone on the Seahawks is asked about Sam Darnold and his I guess uncertainty that everyone else in the media had about him, it's not a thing for the Seahawks. The Seahawks never thought about it that way. None of his teammates did. None of his teammates ever questioned him. None of his teammates ever thought, oh, he's a little bit sketchy here. And they never played like they thought he was sketchy. They fully believed in him. And whenever you ask him, he's like, I wasn't listening to that. That wasn't a thing in the world of the Seahawks. And I think that just proves how good of a team they are, how close of a team they are, how much they believe in each other. They are in their own ecosystem and they're thriving.
I love it. It fires me up. That hype video of Mike McDonald when he goes, they know we're like that. That part fires me up. And we do know you're like that, Seattle. Heck yeah, football's awesome. Outside linebackers coach, fight the other team. Let's do it. I'm fired up.
Yeah. And LA's just so they would have I think Seattle would win the fight.
Of course, they would have got bodied.
Yeah.
Now, if Aaron Donald was still on the Rams, then we have a bigger issue. But good thing Aaron Donald is retired. So let's move on. We're still going to talk. We're talking a little bit of the Super Bowl. We're still on Seattle because they're still playing. They're one of two teams that are still playing football. Isn't that it's just a wild thing?
It hasn't happened for me in so long.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
nice.
yeah. I imagine it is. I imagine it's very, very nice, and I imagine you're having a really good week. Um, some better
I
than
imagine it's
others.
hard to imagine for you.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, that's usually, there's some stuff that you just don't need to say out loud. Just saying things. It's hard for me to imagine. Being in the situation that you're in. I don't really need to
It
hear that
is,
right
right?
now. Yeah. Um,
Oh,
not if you
because it,
believe.
yeah.
I'm a believer. Hey,
At
hey,
least,
hey.
at least you had the most jersey sales.
Oh my
Woo, number
gosh.
one. Fashion. The Bears are number one in fashion,
You
thanks
know
to
what?
Caleb Williams.
Yes. Put that on the headline. Bears are number one in
Yeah,
fashion thanks to Caleb Williams. And you know what?
cute.
I'll take it. I'll take it because next year we're going to be the number one in freaking
Cutest team in the NFL. Da Bears.
ferociousness. Number one in ferociousness next year.
Caleb Williams should do a partnership with Build-A-Bear.
Actually, he should. That's my first piece of Caleb Williams merch that I would buy, honestly, if he did that. So shout out Caleb Williams. Shout out Build-A-Bear. Let's do the collab. Let's make America happy and do the collab.
Da Bears.
The Bears. Um, there's some weird stats going around this Super Bowl. And I know people take in so many different things like past performances, trending, how's Drake May's last five been? Sam Darnold's been balling, things like that. But then there's some things that people don't really think about. Longitude and latitude, initials. Things are real. Things are
I
real here.
hate I hate when people don't consider longitude and
It
latitude.
makes me sick to my stomach. It literally makes me ill when people say they don't even care about it.
Hello. Let's talk tectonic plates next. Gosh,
Let's do it. Pangea, ever heard of it? Holy smokes, people. But
this is wild.
laughing time is over now, Paige, because we're getting serious. In this century, every time the Super Bowl has been played in between two teams, one team traveling east, one team traveling west, the team traveling west has won. The stats are up there. We see a lot of dubs of teams traveling west. We see a lot of L's of teams traveling east. And you might think to yourself, aren't both teams traveling east? No. The Seahawks actually, if you do the math and if you really pinpoint longitude and latitude, Lumen Field, where the Seahawks play, is 0.36 degrees west of Levi Stadium, where the Super Bowl is. And then you think to yourself, would you consider Lumen Field to be the home of the Seahawks? Or would you consider the Seattle practice facility and headquarters to be the home of the Seahawks?
In Renton.
Maybe. I don't know if it's in Renton or not. But
It is.
since I'm so locked in on longitude and latitude, VMAC is what they call it, their headquarters. That's an abbreviation. Seahawks headquarters and practice facility is actually 0.23 degrees west. So they're traveling they're traveling less than a degree east to Levi Stadium. And obviously the Patriots are traveling very, very west. Thoughts on this as a Seahawks
I
fan?
mean, this is a completely ridiculous stat. I would say if I was going to follow this rule, though, that you have to go by airports, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be flying into San Francisco, right?
Right.
That that's yeah. I was going to say, I mean, they're probably like flying like private, but whatever. I'm going to assume they're flying into San Francisco's international airport. I believe that is more west than SeaTac, 100%.
Okay, so you're going by airports.
Yeah, because that's the actual travel.
Okay, I actually kind of like where you're going with this.
Also, so no team in the past 10 years, no two teams have both gone west.
Um,
Like that's got to be
this is this is when it no this is when one team has to travel east and one team has to travel west. This is the results. So this is
Oh.
of the last
So there are some
century.
years.
This is in the
There
last
but there
100 years.
Oh. Oh. The Seahawks are not traveling east.
I kind of like the airport theory now.
Yeah. If
Okay.
anything, what's the results on north and south? That's kind of where I'm at.
I is New England.
More south than San Francisco, I think.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I
I don't think so.
let's
They're probably pretty close. I think New England will be flying south. That's probably like Boston is probably the Boston area is probably more north than San Francisco. I mean it's really close, but yeah, it's more north.
Oh yeah, it's more north.
So they're both going south. So we're not even worried about north and south anymore actually. But
I need
in other news, here's something that's very much on your side of things. And this is what I find a tad bit interesting.
Go on.
No starting quarterback with a last name less than 5 letters long has ever won a Super Bowl. How many letters are in May?
4.
That's less than 5 last time I checked. If my math is correct.
I love this stat. So good.
That's crazy.
Ever.
You know that what makes me happy? Williams. What a long, nice last name. You ever think about that?
No, I don't often think about how long Caleb Williams' last name is.
I thought about it. That's the first thing I thought of when I read this tweet. I said Williams.
Of course it is.
I said what?
He is 95% of your thoughts.
He is. What a guy. Not only that, negative towards Drake May, starting quarterbacks whose first and last name end in the same letter are 0-6 in the Super Bowl since the AFC was formed in 1970, since the merger. What does Drake end in?
E.
What does May end in?
E.
Holy smokes. 2 E's. 2 E's don't equal a W.
They equal an easy win for the Seahawks.
Ooh.
This is another good stat that I really like.
And I'm not done with really good stats that you're going to really like. Starting quarterbacks with the initials DM, not to be confused with direct message, are 0-2 in the Super Bowl. So you got Dan Marino and Donovan McNabb. So I went back, I said, Dan Marino, Donovan McNabb. You know what? Obviously, starting quarterbacks with the last name DM are 0-2. I said, let's see how they performed, though. Let me see how they performed in their given Super Bowl. Donovan McNabb, 357 yards passing, 3 touchdowns.
Pretty good.
But 3 interceptions and an L.
That's what we like to hear.
Okay. Dan Marino, another DM, 318 yards passing, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. So DM also equals L. Again.
Yes.
So this
another very factual stat.
A very factual stat. So this got me thinking DM Drake May. Let's see what his projections are on Dabble.
What are they?
Right now, he's projected 217.5 passing yards, which, if we're going by DM history, that's pretty low.
You take more.
Maybe one would take more on that.
Perhaps.
Touchdowns are at 1.5 touchdowns right now, but it's boosted 1.1x. So one would take more on that if he's going to split the difference between his fellow DMs in history.
I
And then obviously, 3 interceptions, 2 interceptions, one could possibly take more on an
Interceptions.
interception projection. And the good news is, if you're feeling like you want to jump on a DM, just if you want to go crazy on Drake May because you know all of these DM historical facts now, you can officially stack players and their projections in Dabble lineups for the NFL, MLB, and NHL. So you can put Drake May's more on touchdowns and more on passing yards in one lineup if you wanted to. What do you think about that?
I think that is what we call a lock.
Ooh.
Yeah.
DM
Yeah.
equals L.
Also,
We did say DM equals
DM
L.
DM equals L, and L means lock.
Whoa.
He also is probably going to be throwing the ball a lot because they're going to be losing.
Woo.
Let me just throw that stat in there.
Fair enough.
I do have some kind of random Super Bowl facts, Super Bowl stats, just to get people thinking. Teams who wear white are 37 and 21 in all time in Super Bowl wins. The Patriots are wearing the white jerseys, so that's not a great Seattle stat, but just keep that in mind. However, teams with the better defense wins championships, have a record of 30 and 17 in Super Bowls, so that would go in the Seahawks' favor.
Ooh.
And then the last little thing that I know everyone's going to be talking about is the coin toss. And there was, in fact, a coin toss curse from 2015 to 2022, where the winners of the coin toss lost the game 8 consecutive times until the Chiefs broke that curse in 2023. But in the last, I guess not but and in the last 58 Super Bowls, there have been 30 tails, 28 heads, and the winner of the toss has only won 40% of Super Bowls. So it actually doesn't equate to a competitive advantage at all. Actually, it's a competitive disadvantage if you think about it. So, do you want to win the coin toss? We'll see.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
If you're calling it, what are you taking? Heads or tails?
Tails.
You so would.
Why, you would take heads?
Yeah, I'd take heads.
You so would. All right. What day is the Super Bowl on? Like, what day of the week?
It's on Super Bowl Sunday.
Don't you think we should change that? Don't you think we should change Super Bowl Sunday?
This is the worst take of all time, and you've had bad takes.
First of all, the back-to-back disrespect there. Hello.
This is a bad idea.
No, this is a great idea. Let me tell you why. Super Bowl Saturday. The players already have a week off from games, so there's already a week in between. Saturday. Okay. What's the first day of the weekend?
Friday.
Well, you know what I'm trying to say. Saturday comes before Sunday, so if you have a Super Bowl Saturday, that means no matter what, people are going to have the next day off. You don't have to take some PTO. You don't have to take vacation days. You don't have to call in sick. You can just have the next day off. So Super Bowl Saturday can be one long day of partying, and then Sunday can be chill all day, and then Monday comes.
Or if you're just like that, you can have Sunday be a whole day of partying and wake up and go to work the next day, because guess what? You can do both. It's just, you can't take away tradition. Why do you hate tradition? Super Bowl Sunday. Would you like the rest of the NFL schedule to be played on Saturday so that you can have your nice, relaxing, boring Sunday?
No.
So this doesn't make any sense. I will say, if anything's going to change, if any championship game is going to change, the college football national championship should not be on a Monday.
I'm glad you brought that up. It should be on the same day as the Super Bowl. We should have one ultimate football day. It should be called UFD, Ultimate Football Day. And the national championship, college football national championship, should be played at 11 a.m. Central Time. This is going to be on a Saturday as well. So it's Ultimate Football Day is a Saturday. You wake up, 11 a.m. Central Time, college football national championship. All of a sudden, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock Central Time rolls around. It's the freaking Super Bowl. Ultimate Football Day. You wake up, you're tailgating all day. You're watching games. Then you have about an hour or 2 hour break. Maybe play some, maybe cook. Maybe have some friends over. Maybe barbecue. Maybe play some drinking games. Then you get into the Super Bowl. And it's literally the best day ever, all on a Saturday. And then you just wake up at whatever time you want to the next day. Because there's no work because it's a Sunday, and then you text your friends in your group message and be like, yesterday was kind of the greatest day ever, wasn't it, boys? And they go, it was the Ultimate Football Day, and you just go, it was the Ultimate Football Day.
That is again a worse take than the Super Bowl being on a Saturday. Both games on the same day. Ultimate Football Day, that you get that every Saturday and Sunday all season long. You know what you do? You wake up, there's an 11 a.m. game, and then there's games the rest of the day, and you're tailgating and you're watching games all day long. You don't want to have the two biggest football games on the same day. That I want 2 days of celebrations. I don't want one. I don't want to condense one. I already do that with my birthday. Okay. I was born on Christmas. I have to celebrate 2 holidays in one. I'm not doing that with my championships. Okay. I want 1 day to celebrate the national championship where I can tailgate and party and have fun watching football. And then a couple weeks later, do it again with the Super Bowl. And I think that has got to be the majority consensus here.
Please comment if you want. Please comment below if you want the Ultimate Football Day, just like I do. And then
every Saturday of college football. You need to get more into college football.
I am.
You would really. I think you need to really take on college football Saturdays though.
I'll do it. I'm not afraid to do it.
Yeah, like when you have a bunch of massive SEC matchups.
Yeah, it sounds great.
That's the Ultimate Football Day.
We can agree to disagree, but that is a very good football. That's a VG. That's a VGFD. That's a very good football day. But it's not the Ultimate Football Day because we know what the Ultimate Football Day is. And everybody out there, I hope you guys have the ultimate Thursday. And thank you for watching Breakfast Ball. What do you have to say to the people really, really fast? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
If you agree with EJ, you're wrong. Thanks for watching.